All right, so I'm starting a new little series. It's going to be From the Porch. So I'm going to have a bunch of interviews with all different kinds of people, from athletes to product designers to writers and legends of the sport. And I'm going to do it from my porch. So stay tuned. This is going to be one of the first ones. We've done a chat hall interview recently. We're doing another chat hall interview today. So he's coming off a couple big wins. He had a great Rim Nordic, and then he just smoked everybody in the endurance race at the Big Bear race, this past weekend, or was it 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, coming up on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So tell us about the race.
So yeah, endurance race, like most of the pros do XCs, like it's typically smaller fields than endurance race, but I think longer races are cool. I was like, I don't really care who shows up. I'm gonna race myself, go as hard as I can. So it was awesome. Took off, wanted to go as hard as I could on the first climb and just like empty the tank, try to recover, and then just ride steady the rest of the way. Did that, recovered really well. Felt really strong on the first lap. It was awesome, just like having open trails, nobody out there but me and all the guys behind. Came around the finish of the loop, made the turnaround, and then just intersected the rest of the XC races. So quickly caught up to the front guys in the XC, the pro guys. And so I was mixing up with a guy that I coach, actually, Zach Villers, and I think it's Paul Fabian.
Yeah, something like that.
Was out front. He was the only guy that I didn't catch. But yeah, it was awesome. I was riding with Zach, got in front of Zach, and actually wiped out pretty hard coming down towards Grandview.
He said something about that. He's like, "Oh, you wiped out." I was like, "Oh, my bike."
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully you're not hurt, but my bike.
Yeah, I made the ultimate error of crashing on the right side on your drivetrain side, which is never good. You always like checking your derailleur and stuff. But anyways,
at least it was close to the end, right?
Yeah.
That was on the second lap, so you'd already done your first lap, so you didn't have that far to go to maintain, conserve the equipment.
But yeah, it was just very dry. Everyone said it's really dry and loose, and I feel like even this year, a lot of rocky places are more rugged and sort of jagged rocks exposed.
More eroded for sure, yeah. Because we get that kitty litter, but so many people have been riding Skyline over and over again that it's just getting deeper and deeper, and the rocks are getting more and more exposed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So it definitely felt that way, and there's already been a bunch of people on the course, so they're just turns that were washed out. So I think that's what happened. All of a sudden, I was just on the ground going pretty fast, but got up, took off. You jump off a Skyline onto 2 and 10. Do this like segment of 3 climbs, and then you're back on Skyline. Let Zach go in front of me and just try to follow him down to the finish, and yeah, finished up pretty close to each other. He took second place in the Pro XC, so cool.
Yeah, and another Bear Valley Bikes rider, Stuart Gonzalez, got second in the endurance race. So Bear Valley Bikes had a great day for sure.
Yeah,
so going into this weekend, we've got another Rim Nordic. This will be the third one. I heard it's a much longer course, maybe like even 8 or 9 miles, where it was like 6 or 7 in the past. So how are you feeling? I know you weren't feeling super great after the race. That huge effort kind of set you back a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to race because I worked myself so hard that the night before the race, I wasn't feeling good, and I wasn't going to risk it, and I wasn't going to go around anywhere, so I self-isolated. But then I came around, I was totally fine, no COVID, no issue, and I've been feeling great ever since, except for, the workload and whatnot. So, back to Rim Nordic.
Yeah, so same deal. These efforts, it's always surprisingly hard when you do a race effort. So came off of the weekend, felt kind of run down, had a weird cough, and I think just in these times, you just get scared with any sort of sickness, symptoms or anything. So I went down. Yeah.
We also had a fire. There was this fire on the backside of Gorgonio, and some of that smoke was coming into town, and so that might have been something that affected me and Chad too, because we were breathing the smoke. I mean, it was coming into the valley. So
definitely, and it's funny, because now I feel like it's not smoky, and I don't have that cough anymore. But anyways, went and got tested because I just wanted to make sure. I think that's the right thing to do. So got tested, realized I'm okay, which is nice. Energy is starting to come back, feeling pretty good. Gonna jump on the mountain bike this week, get comfortable on the dirt. And yeah, I actually haven't looked at the course yet, but long course suits me well. So
yeah, you definitely got the power, and it's not, you're not dropping power at the end of 40, 50 mile race. So I'm gonna actually go down to Rim Nordic today. I'm gonna do a pre-ride. I'll have that up on my Strava. You can check it out. Yeah, Chad will be there this weekend. Come out and see, if you could take him. All right, so the Grizzly is a go this year. As you know, Chad's won it a couple times already. So what do you think?
Yeah, super excited. I mean, obviously events have been tough this year, so it's my favorite event all year. So excited to have that happen. If you guys don't know the Grizzly, it features really all the best single track around the entire valley, and not to mention the back valley too.
Yeah, so Radford is a formidable climb. If you've ever done it or you haven't done it, it extracts its punishment.
Yeah, it takes us in the fact that everybody hates Radford. I hate Radford, and I'm always the fastest one up it. So.
Yeah, so everybody hates Radford. And especially because when you go down Seven Oaks, which is a pretty gnarly descent to have an event, with the shree fields and the skid lines and the ruts and the kitty litter. But then, you get all Asart, which is pretty twisty and turny, and you don't really have a lot of room for mistake because there's a pretty giant, huge cliff edge there, and some of the corners are blind left-handers with trees sticking out to a giant cliff, and then you use so much energy on the little punches on that then you go through Seven Oaks Valley and you start up Radford, and even the little paved climb before you get to the dirt is like pretty challenging.
Yeah, I mean, you're climbing for almost 20 minutes. I mean, for me, 20 minutes before you get to the dirt section of Radford. So you're climbing for me, an hour. I think for most people, probably in the vicinity of an hour and a half to 2 hours. So
yeah,
it's
because Seven Oaks proper to the top, I think is what? It's over 4,000 feet of climbing, or right in that?
I think so, yeah.
Right in that Seven Oaks proper, the little town there, all the way to the top. It's very challenging. So, all right, well, check out videos. We're going to be doing lots more live from my porch videos with, I'm a brewer, so we're going to have some amazing coffee. And, stay tuned. Check out how Chad did in the race this weekend. So, yep, thanks.